21st century. The IMF provided two major lending packages in the early 2000s. The Argentina during the 1998 and 2002 Argentina Great Depression and Uruguay after the 2002 Uruguay banking crisis. However, by the mid-2000s, IMF lending was its lowest share of the world GDP since the 1970s. In May 2010, the IMF participated in 3:11 proportion in the first Greek bailout that totally 110 euro billions to address the great accumulation of public debt caused by the continuing large public sector deficit. As a part of the bailout, the Greek government agreed to adopt the austerity measure that would reduce the deficit from 11% in 2009 to well below 3% in the 2004. The bailout did not include debt restructuring measures such as the haircut to the chagrin of the Swiss, Brazilian, Indian, Russian, and Argentinian directors of the IMF, with the Greek authorities themselves at the time. PM George Papandreou, Finance Minister George Papakonstantinou ruling out a haircut. A second bailout package of the more than 100 euro billion was agreed over the course of the few months from the October 2011. During which time Papandreou was forced from the offices. This so-called Troika, of which the IMF is part, are joint manager of this program, which was approved by the executive director of the IMF on 15 March 2012 for XDR 23.8 billion, and saw private bondholders take a haircut of upward of the 50% in the interval between May 2010 and February 2012. The private banks of the Holland, France, and Germany reduced exposure to the Greek debt from the 112 euro billions to the 66 billion euro billions as the January 2012. The largest borrowers from the IMF in order were Greece, Portugal, Ireland, Romania, and Ukraine. On 25th March 2013, 10 billion euros international bailout of the Cyprus was agreed by the Troika at the cost of the Cypriots of its agreement to close the country's second largest banks, to impose a one-time bank deposit levy on banks of the Cyprus. Uninsured deposit, no insured deposit of the 100k euros or less were to be effected under the terms of the novel bail in the scheme. The topic of the sovereign debt restructure was taken up to the IMF in April 2013 for the first time since 2005 in a report entitled Sovereign Debt Restructuring: Recent Development and the Implication for the Fund's Legal Policy Framework. The paper, which was discussed by the board on 20 May, summarized the recent experience in the Greece, St. Kitts and the Nevis, Belize, and Jamaica, and explanatory interviews with the Deputy Director Hugh Grandin was published a few days later, as was a deconstruction by the Martina Steves of the Wall Street Journal. In the October 2013 fiscal monetary publication, the IMF suggested that a capital levy capable of reducing the euro area's government debt ratios to end 2007 levels would require a very high tax rate of about 10%. The fiscal affairs department of the IMF, headed at the time by the acting director Sanjeev Gupta, producing a January 2014 report entitled Fiscal Policy and the Income Inequality, that stated that the sum tax levied on wealth, especially on the immovable property, are also an option for economies seeking more progressive taxation. Property taxes are equitable and efficient, but underutilized in many economies. There is a considerable scope to exploit these taxes more fully, both as a revenue source and as a redistributive instrument. At the end of the March 2014, the IMF secured an 18 billion bailout funds for the provisional government of the Ukraine in the aftermath of the 2014 Ukrainian revolution. In March 2020, Kristalina Georgieva announced that the IMF stood ready to mobilize $1 trillion as its response to the coronavirus pandemic. This was in addition to the $50 billion fund it had announced 2 weeks earlier, of which $5 billion had already been requested by Iran. On one day earlier, on 11 March, the UK called the pledge $150 billion euros to the IMF Catastrophic Relief Fund. It came to light on 27 March that the more than 80 poor and middle income countries had sought a bailout due to the coronavirus.